Sputnik, a Russian movie. And this fellow has a problem with Russia on so many levels. Putin and the rest. History, they brought us happiness, communism decades ago, and we will suffer the consequences for decades to come. It's been 30 years since we escaped somehow from that system, but it's a long way. However, the filmmakers, from mine, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Chekhov, Turgenev, Bulgakov, and so many more, and just to mention a few giant writers into music, arts, science. Let's not get into now. But filmmakers, Leviathan, or however they will say it, launched in the last decade, is one of my top 50 favorites. And that's just one example. And they have Bondarchuk, War and Peace, the adaptation, and some other films, Burned by the Sun, and Mechanical Piece for Unfinished Piano, is it? That's the name? Adapted from Chekhov, so on and on. Not the later productions, plus I think I've read somewhere that he's a fan of The Dictator, but anyway. So, arts, movie making, music, ballet, of course. Even in ballet they had that thing going at the Bolshoi with pouring acid, with hatred, with anyway. Filmmaking is going strong there. When they don't make works for the beloved leaders, of course. Now about Sputnik, having said that, they have this fantastic tradition, phenomenal authors, artists, and so on. Moscow doesn't believe in tears, so on. Ilf and Petrov, 12 Chairs, Golden Calf. Sputnik is not so terrific. It is well made. It has merits, but somewhere at some time something is wrong. It's my view. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know the Metascore, if they have one. I mean, what the important, prestigious critics say about this on average. But my view is that yes, there is something going on. It's a different approach, but plus it's also to be fair. Try to be fair. I can't be. It's not my genre. So we have something like the Alien. We have two astronauts. This is the time of the Soviet Union. So we have the plot is set decades back. The Soviet Union, two cosmonauts are returning to Earth when something hits the spaceship they're in. Or is it a module? I think it looked like a module, something smaller. So it's something that they use coming back from the space station. It doesn't matter. One of them is killed. The other is found by a shepherd or something. And we have the female main character, a doctor who is on sort of a medical trial because she went too far in her effort to try and save a patient. She deprived him of oxygen for about 1 minute. And so it looked like she was harming this man, or young man. And accusations, responses. Anyway, we see at the end of this scheme that there is a colonel who wants her to work for him because he liked her attitude. She would go to any length to win the battle with the disease. So she's brave, she's determined, and she doesn't go along with the cliches, with the on the beaten track, if you will. And the patient she's supposed to treat, to bring back, is in fact our cosmonaut, the one who survived. The problem is he has a thing inside him, a creature that is coming out of his body at night. And now there's a problem to see what's going on, as the plot develops, to find the different ideas, different interests of those involved. The colonel apparently has been lying to his superiors, has been sending reports that don't mention the real thing, facts happening on the ground. And he has the idea that they can eventually use the thing, the alien inside, as a weapon. He speaks of, even if as a Machiavellic character, of the goal justifies the means. If you want peace, you need control of weapons. So if they have this weapon, they will have peace. That's what he claims, being a Soviet apparatchik. Plus, he says the other. This thing with the weapon is coming up only much later. So he doesn't say, for instance, to the woman doctor that they're feeding the thing, the alien, live people. So what happens is, at night they bring in prisoners, convicted criminals, and they're killed and eaten by this thing. Colonel says, well, you want to know what this guy did? He went and raped his neighbor and killed her. And she was, I'm just saying 8, maybe she was 10, 12, I don't know, but you see what I mean. A monster, but that's not the way to go ahead. So she's disgusted, she's revolted about this. She's trying some schemes. Maybe we go out, trying to tell him, look what's happening. And she tries to get another doctor who had been in charge before her arrival, somehow on the medical side, to get him to cooperate with her scheme. So in some ways, familiar territory. We've ever since Alien, and probably quite a long time before that, this idea of an alien creature attacking, penetrating the body, coming up in some strange, mostly ferocious, ugly form. This idea has been there and treated and studied and promoted in various forms. And so this is just one of them. Up to a point, maybe it was different. Maybe it had something going for it. And it was interesting to some extent to see the Soviet attitude. So this viewer at least was more inclined to smile here and there and say, yeah, I know how. I mean, this is what this guy would do, or the other, so credible, if you will. But then there are some things that do not make much sense for me. Like that suicide. Let's not mention him. I mean, this is how it's going on up to this moment, and then there's a suicide. And overall, I don't. I guess I will have to see tomorrow. I'm giving a rating when I post this, and what will it be? 70, less than 70 out of 100. Not fantastic, anyway.